Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. So it's official, Toaplan Arcade 3 is coming to Evercade at the end of November 2024. In this video I'm going to be playing through all 7 games. I'll give you my opinions whether this cart is worth buying. Could this be the best Toaplan collection yet for Evercade? Let's find out. So first up is Batsugun, and this game is absolutely brilliant. Now I'm not really a fan of this genre shoot 'em ups, but this is great fun to actually play. Lots going on. It is described as a bullet hell style sort of shoot 'em up, and apparently this was the last shoot 'em up that Toaplan actually made back in 1993. And I believe there is a Saturn version out there as well. But this is obviously the arcade versions we're getting, and I really enjoyed playing through this one. There's lots going on, it's very colourful, and they certainly obviously honed all their expertise into this game. It's absolutely fantastic fun to play, and thankfully you can just keep inserting coins and continuing from where you left off or where you died, which is also a plus for me. I hate when you actually die or it's one hit kill, you have to go all the way back to the start of the game. Now there are games on this cart that's going to be like that, but this isn't one of them thankfully, and this is absolutely brilliant. I really think this is perhaps the best sort of game on this collection. Maybe it's one of the best known games, perhaps. It certainly will be up there as one of their best, no doubt about it, and the fact that I'm enjoying it says a lot about this game. So next up we have the special version of Batsugun, and there's some changes. Obviously you can see maybe the graphics certainly look a little bit different, but there's been a number of changes added, like a smaller hitbox, there's a shield protecting the player from one hit, more powerful bombs, new scoring items, and the addition of multiple loops of increasing difficulty after completing the initial loop. among many other changes. It's pretty cool that we are getting this version. I'm not entirely sure that this was released in the arcades at the time, so this could be something of a bonus for us on Evercade. So I think this will probably put the value of this cart up massively, given the fact that it wasn't actually originally released. So pretty cool. And it's still the same, practically the same game. I think I discovered that you can hold down the fire button without having to press it to obviously unleash your fire, which is always a welcome addition. But still a great game. Okay, next up it's Outzone, and this is kind of a similar in style to maybe games like Commando and Mercs, where you're obviously the sort of player and you're making your way up the screen, taking out all the enemies that come across your path. As much as this game looks really cool, and certainly highly polished like most of the games from Toaplan, I found this pretty frustrating to play, and it's very, very difficult. And sadly you can't continue your progress from where you died. You usually get sent back to a checkpoint. So there's a lot of frustration on board here, and I made very minimal progress. So obviously I need a lot of practice to play this game. So be aware this one is a tough game to play. Okay, next up it's Fixeight, and this is apparently a spiritual successor to Outzone that we just played. Obviously plays exactly the same way. There are more characters to choose from. Graphically I think it's more colourful than Outzone, and it's more enjoyable, less frustrating. The fact you can insert coins and continue from where you actually died is a big bonus for me. But definitely thumbs up for this one. Preferred it to Outzone. I think this one's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so next up it's Truxton II. Now, there's no doubt that Truxton II are very highly polished titles, but personally I found them pretty frustrating, and this is pretty much more of the same. Really cool to play, but one hit kill and the fact you get sent back to the start every time is just massively frustrating for me. I'm not particularly great at shoot 'em ups, so this one is just not going to work for me. But if you love your shoot 'em ups and you love that sort of bullet hell, all that type of thing, you are going to enjoy this. The challenge is certainly there with this one, but for me it's just frustrating, and I died far too frequently, and there's nothing worse than being sent back to the start of a game. But I guess that's what happened back in the day, and this was really a bit of a coin guzzler, I would guess, but personally not for me. I'm not going to just keep on trying and trying. I would just end up getting frustrated, and I would probably rage quit and probably damage myself in the process. So next up it's Vimana, and this one is probably a little bit of a step backwards from the likes of Batsugun. You can tell maybe graphically, gameplay wise, it's not quite hitting the heights that those games definitely hit. There's nothing really wrong with it. You can obviously continue from where you left off when you die. I just got a little bit bored. I felt the sort of levels were quite repetitive. There's nothing really massively wrong with it. It's a solid, polished shooter, but at the same time I just got bored. The levels were quite long, and I just felt there was something missing from the actual game. I almost got Galaxian vibes from playing the game. I'm not really sure why, but I felt it just was missing something to take it to those next heights. But it's a solid game, no doubt about it, and it's still one of those highly polished games that Toaplan are famous for, but probably not my most favourite game from the collection here. So next up it's Ghox, and interestingly enough, you try and play this game through emulation. More often than not, you'll find there's no sound within the actual game. Now, apparently this was an issue with a lot of Toaplan games back in maybe about 10 years ago. The emulation wasn't great, or maybe it's down to the complexities of Toaplan's sound. But anyway, if you play this game through MAME, it seems absolutely fine. And it's a really cool game. It's a nice break up from the other shoot 'em ups on the collection. It's not really a shoot 'em up, it's obviously a breakout clone. And it's quite enjoyable too. There's a lot going on the screen. The idea is basically to clear the blocks and then move on to the next level. And there's lots of other things going on. There's obviously power-ups, there's enemies that come onto the screen, different power-ups and things you can destroy. But anyway, there's so much going on, sometimes you get confused. But control-wise, it seemed absolutely fine. And as I said, it's a nice change to the shoot 'em ups that are on this collection. Okay guys, my final thoughts on Toaplan Collection 3. Personally, I think it's a fantastic collection. I really enjoyed playing through some of these, even though I'm not even a shoot 'em up fan at all. Some real high quality games from Toaplan that I think will be really enjoyed out there in the community. Good value as well. I think if you look on Steam, a lot of these games will sell for about £6-7. So 6 times 7, 42. Really good value on your Evercade cart, no doubt about it. Now you've probably noticed a lot of these games are in vertical aspect ratio, which is obviously tatty mode on your EXP, and the VS if you've got a swivel monitor. But interestingly, this will launch at the same time as the Evercade Alpha, so how that will play on the Evercade Alpha could be a bit odd. Maybe they'll have that option on the Evercade Alpha to play tatty mode style games by maybe swiveling the screen and lying it on its side. I don't know. I'm not sure if that would actually work, but it's going to be interesting to find out. No doubt a quality collection though. So I would definitely recommend buying this collection. It is high quality stuff. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.